Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first in a series of ClickPhilosophy debates where profound questions in philosophy will be answered with discussions between philosophers throughout history. The question that the first debate will deal with is, does God exist? This question has been pondered ever since the emergence of religion and is notorious even in the modern world, where it helps create epic wars in YouTube comment sections. This may be because it is difficult to reconcile faith used by many religions to assert the existence of God with reason and logic. However, some philosophers throughout history have attempted to prove the existence of God through reason, and tonight we will consult Saint Anselm of Canterbury about his ontological argument and pit his arguments against that of Galileo as well as Immanuel Kant, who unfortunately is the subject of many pronunciation jokes. Using a highly capable time machine invented by ClickPhilosophy, we have brought them to our debate table. But before we begin, let's agree on the definition of God that will be used throughout the debate. The definition of God is as follows: a being that is all-powerful, all-knowing, and all-good. To begin the debate, Saint Anselm, who is for the existence of God, will now present his ontological argument. Greetings. Firstly, the word ontological has to do with the nature of being. So, through the ontological argument, we will consider the nature and qualities of God and whether they make it likely that God exists. First off, everyone can agree that, by definition, God is the greatest thing there is. Nothing by definition can surpass God. Whether God exists or not, we have an idea of God in our minds based upon such definition. However, things that exist in reality is greater than things that exist only in the mind as mere concepts. In other words, things that exist in the mind as ideas is second in greatness to the things that exist in reality. Following from this, if God only exists in the mind as a concept and not in reality, it would betray the definition of itself as the greatest thing there is. Therefore, in order to qualify for the definition that God is the greatest thing there can be, God must also exist in reality. Now, Anselm, I have an objection to your argument. Let's take an example of an island. Let's now imagine that it is the most perfect and greatest island, with exotic fruits, food, excellent climate, the definition of a paradise. If I use your argument that such a perfect island cannot exist only in the mind as a concept, then such perfect island must definitely exist. However, this reasoning is ridiculous. Using your logic, I can conjure a perfect pizza, perfect wine, and perfect everything into existence. But we know that we cannot do this. Wait, Ganello. You're missing the point of my argument. The island that you used as an example does not really refute my argument, since the definition of God indicates perfection of every single characteristic within it, while the perfect in the perfect island doesn't really mean perfection of every characteristic. For example, even if an island seems perfect, it may not possess characteristics like supreme power or knowledge. Hence, the true definition of perfect only applies to God, and only God can be imagined to exist through this reasoning. Anselm, I think something is off about your argument. In my opinion, whether something is perfect or great does not have anything to do with whether it exists or not. Just because something exists, it doesn't mean that it is automatically greater than something that doesn't. Even if the definition of God states that God must be all-powerful, all-knowing, and all-good, God not existing does not diminish the definitions of these attributes. After all, the concept of something perfect, regardless of its powers or abilities, derives from the ideal and imaginary model, and not a model that necessarily exists in reality. Think about a perfect circle, a polygon with an infinite number of sides. We know this cannot exist in nature, but just because it remains a concept, are the perfect qualities of a circle made irrelevant or any less great? Something does not have to exist in reality to be perfect. And the time is up. Which side wins? You decide. Comment your thoughts below, but please keep it to the specific debate. Oh, and of course, if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please like and subscribe.